Long, long ago, deep beneath the rolling blue waves of the eastern sea, there stood a magnificent dragon palace. There lived the Dragon King, ruler of all the creatures of the sea. He had always guarded the palace with dignity and strength, known far and wide for his powerful presence and good health. But one day, the Dragon King fell seriously ill. At first, it seemed like only a minor sickness. Yet as time passed, his face grew pale and his strength slowly faded away. The servants of the Dragon Palace were filled with worry. They searched the entire ocean for cures, bringing back every medicine said to be effective: rare seaweed from the deepest waters, coral aged for 1,000 years, even mysterious pearl powder. Every remedy imaginable was tried, but nothing helped. Instead, the Dragon King's illness only grew worse with each passing day. Soon, the Dragon Palace was filled with sorrow. Then one day, a renowned physician arrived. Having heard rumors of the Dragon King's condition from afar, after carefully examining the Dragon King, the physician finally spoke. "The only way to cure your Majesty's illness is for you to eat the liver of a rabbit." The Dragon King's ears perked up in surprise. A rabbit's liver? How could such a thing possibly be a cure? The physician bowed respectfully and explained. "Rabbits," he said, "were mystical creatures. At dawn, they absorbed the energy of the rising sun, and at night, they took in the glowing power of the moon. Between heaven and earth, there was no medicine more powerful than this." Though the Dragon King felt a spark of hope, a great worry soon followed. Who could possibly travel to the land above and bring back a rabbit? He summoned the high-ranking fish officials of the palace, but they merely glanced at one another, arguing back and forth. "You should go." "No, you go instead." None of them dared to step forward. Just then, something unexpected happened. From a quiet corner of the palace, a small turtle stepped forward. He held no important rank and his body was small, but his loyalty to the Dragon King was greater than anyone else's. The turtle lifted his head and spoke clearly. "If it will heal your Majesty's illness, I will go up to the land and bring back a rabbit." The Dragon Palace fell silent. All eyes turned toward the small turtle. The Dragon King gazed at the turtle for a long moment. In the turtle's eyes, he could see true devotion and courage. "Can you really travel such a long and dangerous road and bring back a rabbit?" the Dragon King asked. The turtle answered bravely, "My eyes may be small and set deep, but by lifting my head again and again, I can see far. My steps may be slow, but I have a plan to bring the rabbit back." Moved by the turtle's courage, the Dragon King summoned the palace painter and ordered him to draw a picture of a rabbit. The turtle held the picture close to his heart and set out on his long journey. He swam without rest. On the first day, the second day, and the third day, even when fierce waves crashed and strong currents pulled at him, the turtle did not give up. At last, after 5 long days, he spotted land in the distance. With one final effort, the turtle climbed onto the shore at last. Stepping onto the unfamiliar land, the turtle slowly looked around. This world was completely different from the sea. Tall mountains rose high into the sky, and thick forests stretched as far as the eye could see. The turtle climbed the rough mountain paths, searching everywhere for a rabbit, but no matter where he looked, there was no sign of one. Just then, he noticed a creature walking toward him, one that looked very much like himself. It was a water lizard. The water lizard greeted him warmly. "What a pleasure to meet such an honored guest. May I ask what brings you all the way here?" The turtle replied that he had come on a very important mission from the Dragon Palace to meet a rabbit. At once, the water lizard's face brightened. "Well then, you are in luck," he said. Tonight, all the animals are gathering in the mountains for a meeting. If you come with me, you may be able to meet the rabbit there." Grateful for the help, the turtle gladly followed the water lizard. As the sun set and darkness fell, they arrived at a wide clearing in the forest. Sure enough, many animals had gathered there. Tigers, bears, deer, foxes, and more. Late into the night, the animals spoke loudly, discussing how to protect themselves from humans with bows and swords. Yet the stronger animals boasted about their own strength, and argued endlessly with one another, whether in the sea or on land. Things did not seem so different after all. The turtle gazed up at the stars and let out a deep sigh. "I must find the rabbit and return to the dragon palace quickly," he thought. "There is no time to waste." The turtle could wait no longer. Though the animals' meeting was still going on, he quietly slipped away. The Dragon King's illness was growing worse with each passing day, and the turtle knew he had to find the rabbit as soon as possible. Under the gentle glow of the moon, he slowly climbed the mountain path. The journey across this strange land was difficult, but thinking of the Dragon King gave him strength. After climbing for a long while, he noticed a small shadow in the distance. The turtle approached carefully. In the moonlight, the shape became clearer and clearer. Two long ears stood upright, swaying softly in the night breeze. Bright red eyes sparkled as they darted from side to side. A slender body shifted gently, and a round tail swayed back and forth. It looked exactly like the rabbit in the picture drawn by the palace painter. The turtle's heart began to race. At last he had found the rabbit. Gathering his courage, the turtle spoke in the most polite voice he could manage. "Why, if it isn't Master Rabbit?" Startled by being called Master Rabbit, the rabbit quickly turned around. Before him stood a strange creature, with a wide, flat shell like a pot lid. It was the first time the rabbit had ever seen such a being. "Who are you, and where do you come from?" the rabbit asked. The turtle bowed respectfully and introduced himself. When he said he had come from the dragon palace, the rabbit's eyes grew even wider. Carefully choosing his words, the turtle explained that a new palace was to be built beneath the sea. He said that Master Rabbit's wisdom and sharp eyes were well known even to the Dragon King himself. The Dragon King, he added, wished to invite the rabbit to choose the perfect site for the palace, and would reward him with a great and honorable position. The rabbit's heart began to flutter. Hearing the turtle's praise made him feel wonderful. He had always believed himself to be clever, but to think that his reputation had reached the faraway dragon palace beneath the sea, it made his chest swell with pride. In his mind, he could already picture himself living in a splendid palace, holding a high position and being admired by all. Still, the rabbit asked carefully, "I would love to go, truly I would. But how could I possibly travel all the way to the dragon palace so far beneath the sea?" The turtle smiled brightly and replied, "All you need to do is sit comfortably on my back. My shell is wide and strong, so there is nothing to fear. I will carry you safely all the way to the palace." Hearing these reassuring words, the rabbit felt his doubts melt away. At last, he stopped hesitating, completely taken in by the turtle's sweet talk and clever trick. The rabbit hopped lightly onto the turtle's broad back. On their way toward the sea, the two animals met a fox. "Rabbit, where are you going?" the fox asked. Proudly, the rabbit replied, "I'm going to the dragon palace to receive a high position." The fox tilted his head and said, "How could a land animal like you live underwater? And why would anyone give such a small creature such an important role?" Hearing this, the rabbit felt uneasy. The fox's words seemed to make sense. I don't think I can go after all, the rabbit said hesitantly. Quickly, the turtle spoke up. That fox is only jealous. He wanted to go himself, but I turned him away. It took great effort for me to meet you, Master Rabbit. If you refuse now, I will have no choice but to return alone. Once again, the rabbit felt tempted. Yes, that must be it, he thought. The fox is simply envious. So the rabbit climbed back onto the turtle's shell. And this time, they truly entered the sea. The turtle swam on without rest, through the long and deep underwater paths. The rabbit gazed around in amazement. He had never seen such a world before. Schools of colorful fish swam past. Coral and seaweed danced gently with the waves, and shimmering scales and mysterious rocks glowed all around. Everything was strange and beautiful. To live in such a magnificent place, while holding a great position, the rabbit felt as though he were drifting through a dream. But the rabbit's sweet dream shattered the moment they reached the gates of the Dragon Palace. Standing before the grand entrance, the rabbit happened to overhear the palace guards whispering, "At last, we will eat the rabbit's liver, and the Dragon King's illness will be cured." A chill ran through the rabbit's entire body. For a moment, his mind went completely blank. A high position, choosing a palace site. It had all been lies. He had been completely deceived by the turtle. The rabbit turned to look at him, but the turtle avoided his gaze. The rabbit's heart began to pound wildly. I must survive, he thought. No matter what, I have to find a way back alive. His mind began to race. Before long, soldiers of the Dragon Palace led the rabbit into the presence of the Dragon King. Though weakened by illness, the Dragon King still carried great dignity. In a heavy voice, he spoke. "Rabbit, it is said that your liver is the cure for my illness, and that is why you were brought here. Do not blame me too much." Tears streamed down the rabbit's face as he looked up at the Dragon King. Yet inside, his thoughts were spinning quickly. In a sorrowful voice, the rabbit said, "I would not grieve even if I lost my life. What pains me is that I cannot cure your Majesty's illness, for I left my liver on the land." The Dragon Palace stirred with murmurs. The Dragon King shouted in anger, "Such nonsense! Do not speak foolish lies." But the rabbit answered calmly and confidently, "On nights of the full moon, we rabbits remove our livers and hang them on the highest branches of pine trees. Only after absorbing the moon's energy do they become powerful medicine. This foolish turtle brought me here in such haste that I had no time to retrieve it. How careless of him." The Dragon King frowned and asked suspiciously, "Then how do you remove your liver from your body?" Without hesitation, the rabbit replied, "We rabbits have a special ability. We have 3 openings, one for passing water, one for waste, and one for removing our livers." A wave of whispers spread through the palace. Could such a thing really be true? Hiding his trembling fear, the rabbit met the Dragon King's eyes and waited for his decision. The Dragon King fell deep into thought after hearing the rabbit's words. No matter how he considered it, the story sounded strange. Yet the rabbit spoke with such confidence that the Dragon King could not help but believe him. And so, he was completely fooled by the rabbit's clever trick. "What a grave mistake you have made, Turtle," the Dragon King said. "Take the rabbit back to the land at once, and bring back the liver." But the turtle still felt uneasy. Something about the rabbit's story did not seem right. Carefully, he spoke to the Dragon King. "Your Majesty, before returning the rabbit to the land, please allow me to examine him first. If he truly has no liver, I will then go and retrieve it." At once, the rabbit leapt to his feet and shouted, "You foolish turtle! I was willing to overlook your mistake. for bringing me all this way. But would you now deepen the Dragon King's illness? With such shallow thinking, the rabbit's bold words left no room for doubt. Even the Dragon King no longer trusted the turtle's suspicion. Enough, he commanded. Take the rabbit back at once. With no other choice, the turtle carried the rabbit on his back and swam the long and difficult path back to the land. When they finally reached the shore, the turtle said, "Now, please bring the liver as you promised." The rabbit burst into laughter. "You foolish turtle," he cried. "Where in the world is there a living creature that walks around without its liver?" Though angry at being deceived and brought to the dragon palace, the rabbit softened his voice and continued, "Still, your loyal heart in wanting to save the Dragon King is truly admirable, so I will give you medicine." With that, plop, 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 the rabbit dropped a few small, black pellets, and wrapped them carefully in vine leaves, then handed them to the turtle. The turtle hurried back to the dragon palace, and presented the medicine to the Dragon King, and to everyone's amazement, after eating it, the Dragon King's illness vanished completely, as if it had never been there at all. The turtle, who had healed the Dragon King, was rewarded with a high position, and became a respected minister of the palace. And what became of the clever rabbit, who had saved his life with wisdom? After returning to the mountains, the rabbit met a heavenly being, and was taken up to the moon. Even now, it is said that the rabbit lives there, pounding medicine day and night. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. On nights when the full moon shines brightly, you may be able to see the rabbit pounding medicine on the moon. Just as the proud rabbit realized his mistake and used his wisdom to escape danger, we too can overcome any challenge if we think wisely. See you next time with another warm and magical story from long ago. Don't forget to like and subscribe.